Come on in, everybody. Hey, 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 come on in. It's Tutorial Tuesday. Yes, yes, yes. Tutorial Tuesday. Come on in. Today, we are doing an instant wash and go. And the question maybe is, how do you even do an instant wash and go? So I found out that some people actually braid or twist their hair first into like a braid out or twist out, and then they do their wash and goes. So I decided to try that this time because I figured it was perfect, because I just took my mini braids out, I guess we could call them. And as you can see, I got a lot of volume. So I did not expect for me to have this much volume. After taking my tiny braids out, I thought my hair would be super flat. I thought it would be limp, and it is not. It is very full. Hello, hello, come on in. It is very full. I have a lot of flow. It's not stiff at all. So I was pretty pleased. I was like, okay, I kind of like the crinkle look that I got from the mini braids. It's not too bad. It's giving me a wash and go vibe. So I was like, okay, let's turn this into a wash and go. And what I wanted to do, like how and what look I wanted to get. I wanted to kind of look wet. I wanted to look defined. And it is pretty defined, especially closer to the back. Of course, we always know the edges always frizz up faster. But I'm excited. So this side is a little more frizzier, but if I lift this up, I have some under here that are very defined. So let me show you what I'm using today, okay? If you have any basic questions or anything regarding wash and goes, anything at all, drop it in the question box, so you already know, or put it in the comment section on Facebook, and let's get started. So we need our misting water bottle. Okay, that's very important. We're going to need this because I need to put water back into my hair. If you are just now joining and you do not know what's going on or what I did last week I washed my braids, and I had the braids for 2 weeks, and then I washed them, and then I kept my braids for another week, and then I just took them down. So my hair is still somewhat clean, but it's not in a deep clean state yet. So I wanted to do a wash and go because I know they don't last for me more than a day or two. And so I wanted to see if I do this way, where I do a braid out into a wash and go, do I get more definition? Do I get more hair control? So that's the goal. We're gonna figure this out today. And so we need our water. We need to bring water back into my hair because it's lacking moisture. Then we want to, today I'm using Mielle, by the way, and I'm gonna use my curl refreshing spray. Hello, hello, come on in. I'm gonna use the curl refreshing spray after the water because I want it to give me more of not just water moisture, but actual moisture, because this has nice moisturizing properties in it. This is supposed to revive my curls, so I want to do that with this braid out that I already have. And you can use this on other braid outs and twist outs normally as well too, which is why I'm using it. And I'm going to coat my hair with the honey and ginger styling gel. Why did I choose this gel? 1, I have low porosity hair. 2, I have enough product in this tube, in this big container, because I'm gonna need a lot of it. And also, I heard that this styling gel works really well with curl definition and wash and goes. So I figured it would be the best to kind of combine the two. And of course, at the end, we have to top it off with our Rosemary mint line. So I'm going to, of course, put in my scalp oil drops, and I'm going to add a little bit of the edge gel because we need to tame these edges. Yes, yes. Okay. So, like I said, if you do end up having questions, please drop them in the question box or in the comment section because I do not want to miss them. This is about to be a situation where my hair is wet. So my hands will most likely be wet. So we will be taking Q&A breaks, okay? I also need to make sure that I have a clip, probably a couple clips, and for this style because we need to section off my hair. So I still have parts from my braids, believe it or not, but I did a scalp massage and I kind of crossed some of those. So I'm just gonna split my hair where the braids once were. You can kind of see this curl pattern I have here. Now, I also braided my hair so that I had a part here and that this hair fell backwards. So I want to keep that look for my wash and go. I think I could split it about here. This will be the first split. I tried to do ear to ear. So let's pin this up. And yes, like I mentioned before, my hair ended up having a lot of volume after I took my braids out. I was very surprised. So I want to show you the back. You can kind of see these braids are a little bigger, so they're very defined, but that's good because I'm going to keep those. So I can keep that definition. Hi, come on in. Today we are doing an instant wash and go. My hair is already defined from a braid out, and I'm going to be wetting my hair and coating these curls to make them defined as if I did a fresh wash and go. So let's see if I have another clip. Yes, I do. I'm going to take this section and do it into two because this is a very big section. Like I said, I have more volume than I thought. Okay, so this is a good section. So I'm gonna take this and mist it with my water. So that's step one. I don't wanna do a ton, but I do wanna do enough where my hair is damp. Water for me helps resets my hair. So this will make sure that my definition stays, but I also don't wanna put too much where it's gonna get too frizzy, and that's why we need our styling gel. My hair is going to be shedding a bunch because I have not detangled at all from my braid out. So now we're gonna do the curl refreshing spray. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I'm gonna do the curl refreshing spray front and back. So now you can see this hair here is damp and bouncy. Now I'm gonna find each one. So see, here's one. And I'm going to get my styling gel. And I'm just gonna coat that piece of hair. And move to the next one. Now I just wanna do piece by piece. Oh, this smells so good. I am a fan of ginger, so this smells really good. I'm trying to get as close as I can to my roots as well, because otherwise they're gonna be very frizzy and the other parts of my hair are gonna be very defined. So I have explained this to other people before, that my hair texture is about 3 or 4 different kinds. Part of that is being that my hair is over processed. I am still transitioning my hair. And so some of the parts of my hair have a different curl pattern. So right now, because I did have like the braid out first, my curls look the same. And they're pretty defined from the braid out. So I am in awe right now. This might be a win. Now, those tiny braids took a while though, so I don't necessarily recommend doing tiny braids just to get you a wash and go. But if you are taking down your braids, this would give you another style for a couple of days. So you don't have to just wash your hair right away from taking your braids down. Hey, hey, come on in. I see everybody. If you have questions about wash and goes or any styles, drop it in the question box so I can answer them. Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer so y'all can see this. I have a one that looks frizzy, so let's fix this one. But the other pieces are looking really good. I think I have a frizzy one back here. So see that? We want it to look basically juicy. That's the goal, is that it looks juicy. We want it to come all together like so. Okay. I think we might be onto something. I learned this technique from this girl named Amber, and her page is Better When It's Wet. And I saw her do this with her wet hair, and then she went back and added product to her like curls from her twist out. And I was like, I think that is what my hair needs. Okay. That's one section, and that was pretty fast. Let me know if I missed any, guys. You all could see better than I can. If you see any of them, add in the comments and say, go back, the one back there by your ear or something like that, so I don't forget or miss it. Okay, that looks really good. I'm excited. Okay, let's try this section. We have to mist it first. Thank you. I think so too. I'm getting really pumped about this. Like, I think this is about to look really good. Instant wash and go, y'all. Instant wash and go. This is nuts. Okay, so after I mist my hair, I'm pulling the ends, because this is all the shedding from having my hair in braids for a couple weeks. So I want this to be gone. Okay, can you see that? So I'm trying my best as I go. I want to get this shedding on, because I've had my hair out for about a day or so, and I was already getting bugged with the shedding. And that's normal for braids and twist outs, protective styles, because your hair is normally shedding regardless. But if you have it protected and it's not going anywhere, you're gonna get all that shedding when you take it down. So I'm gonna spray this. Before I do the gel, I'm gonna answer some of your questions. So if you have questions, make sure that if you're on Facebook, they could be in the chat. If you're on Instagram, put them in the question box so I don't miss them. Yes, this is my first time doing this, guys. My first time. I've done wash and goes before, but they have been nightmares because of my hair texture. But this braid out to wash and go is a whole nother level. Okay, I'm gonna split this because this is pretty big. So when it comes to styling, I can keep track of what curls are what. So I'm gonna clip this up like that, and this will be my next styling section. So one of the questions, can you do this with the coil custard? So if you're familiar with Mielle, then you know what the coil custard is. If not, I'm gonna tell you now. The coil custard has like a jelly vibe to it. And you absolutely can, because it's a styling gel as well. It's just meant for different processes of hair. You can use that if you have type 4 hair. I somewhat have type 4 hair because I have multiple hair types. But I used it before on my hair and it went flaky on me. So it could have just been the way that I applied it. I could have applied it either not enough for it to come together and seal together, and my hair could have just broken up the product, or I put too much and I didn't realize it. So I decided to try a different styling gel this time. but you definitely can. It's not that you can't. Let's see. The other question is, so basically, when you take your braids out and you automatically follow up with the wash and go style. Yes, exactly. You take them down. Now, you don't have to do it automatically. I waited like a day. Let's see, I took these down maybe a day or two. It's been about a day or two. And then I decided to do this. So you don't have to do it right away, but you definitely could. Right when you take them down, you can go right into this. I just waited because, one, I wanted to wait for my people. I wanted to wait for my Devines. But then also I wanted to figure out what I really wanted to do with it. So that's the other reason why I waited. But you do not have to wait. Now I see why everyone likes this honey ginger styling gel, because for stuff like this, it's doing exactly what I needed to do. This is really doing something for me today. Okay, I have some more shedding. So as you see, as I go through it, I have a little bit of shedding here. So I'm trying to take that off as I go, so that by the time I'm done with this style, I won't have any more shedding. I give kudos to the people that have patience to do wash and goes in general, because I would not be able to do this without my hair and do each section like this. This is a lot. You all have patience. When I do my wash and goes, I'm using a Devin brush like this. And that's what makes my curls. But right now, my braid out is what gave me my curls. So I'm just grabbing the pieces from the old braid and coating it with gel. I'm hearing that people use this ginger gel for everything. What? I have not used this for anything really. So, okay. So that means I probably could use this on a slick ponytail. I could use this on a couple of things. And I'm glad that the container is so big. So one of the ladies that submitted her video for the contest for Mielle did a actual wash and go with this gel, and she went through half of the bottle, and her hair was half of the length of mine. So I can't imagine if I did this style from fresh, how much product I would be using. So I'm getting details. If you are on Facebook, the chat is going wild on Instagram. They're telling me that they can do French braids with this gel. They can do ponytails with this gel. The braids that I had another Devine do the same braids, the small individuals. She used this on those. So, oh my goodness. Okay, you see this piece, it's a little more frizzier than normal. So I'm putting a lot of gel on this one because I need that hair to come back together. Okay. Take the shedding off. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I think we got a puffy one here. How are we doing? Oh no, y'all. I am not the wash and go expert, but it's looking pretty juicy to me. We're gonna start the back on this side. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. For me, some gels do flake up on me. Now, this is my first time officially using this gel, so I'm hoping for something different. But we will see. Okay, so step 1, misting it, making my hair damp. Trying to get some of that shedding off as much as I can. Go in with the curl refreshing spray. Like I said before, you can use the curl refreshing spray for any of your braid outs or twist outs. If you just took it down, it's like a day or two, it won't create too much frizz. So it just kind of revives them. If you're wondering how long protective styles can last, you can get a protective style to last 4 to 6 weeks. I pick around 2 for these when I do styles, just my hair. Oh, I just dropped a whole glob. Good, I have this towel right here because we need this. Oh, this is good stuff right here. Okay. Yes, as I was saying, you can get your protective styles to last about 4 to 6 weeks. When I'm doing styles with just my hair though, because of the frizz and things like that, I can get them to last about 2 to 3. And plus I know that with my low porosity hair, I need to be washing my hair more often. So I try to just, like I did these braids. I kept them for 2 weeks. I oiled them every day. And then I washed them last week. And then I kept them for the 3rd week, but I had already washed my scalp and oiled it again. So if you're looking for a style and you want to do the same thing, I would suggest washing it that way. You could wash the roots and then keep your braids a little longer. But know that it may make them frizzy. So just be prepared for that step. Wait for as long as you can before you wash them because your braids will get frizzy. Okay, y'all, this is it. Like I said, for me, this is only it because I had these tiny braids and I decided to keep them and keep the curl. Okay. I'm here. The microfiber towel. What's this? What's that? What's that going on? Tell me more about that. If you're just joining in, we are doing an instant wash and go. We are doing it based on braids. So I took out braids. This is a braid out, and we're coating each section with the styling gel after we refreshed it with water and a curl refresher so that we can keep the curl pattern. Hey, come on in. So that's what's going on right now. All right, let me take this shedding off and should give you all a close-up. So let's see how this section's looking. Ooh, hunty, hunty. I have never seen my hair curl like this, y'all. So, pretty soon, I am going to be doing a trim on my hair. And if you can't tell already, I give you a hint, look at the bottom of my hair. Yes, this side is starting to dry, but this side of my head is growing faster than this side. It's tripping me out. Tripping me out. So here's the first step. We're going with our misting water bottle. Now you want the misting water bottle because you don't want to drench your hair. If you drench it, it's going to reset the whole thing. We kind of want to keep the curl pattern that the braids created. Curl refresher. And these products smell so good. I'm going to walk around smelling like a fruit basket. Okay, so I'm rubbing in the moisture, but I'm also taking the shedding off. And I mentioned that before. The shedding is from having my protective style. So just so you all know that I am not losing hair. Like I'm not like balding or anything like that. I'm not suffering from hair loss. This is literally just shedding. Then we're gonna take the gel and go find each piece and coat it all the way from the top to the bottom. We're trying to get as close to the root as we can. Thank you. I really do hope so. I really hope it turns out good, y'all, because wash and goes do not look good on me. Now, I have tried though. Don't get me wrong. I've tried. I've had one good wash and go, and it lasted for about a day. So, do I know my hair type? I was kind of mentioning that it's hard because my hair, some of it is still processing, some of it is healed, some of it is healthy. So it's hard to say, but I know that I'm definitely I have a combination, and I believe I'm between 3 and 4. And, but everyone that has a certain hair type always has different hair when it's wet versus when it's dry. And I am the poster child for that. My hair will look like I have type 3 when it's wet, and once it dries, I have legit type 4 coarse hair. So it all depends on how my mane is feeling. Yeah, you know, if you're suffering from wash and go frustration like I do, most of the time it's because our hair is not ready for it yet. Our hair still needs to be manipulated. Its natural curls are not fully there yet, especially in the middle and my crown. It's just not ready, and I have to be honest with myself and say that and know that. And you can get your wash and goes too. You just may have to do this process that we're doing. Manipulate your hair with a braid out or twist out first, and then go back and coat the pieces. Because we have to make our hair curl first. I totally feel you. Yes, if you've just now gotten to the point where your wash and goes are popping, kudos to you, because this is hard work. Look at all this hard work. And I've already dedicated hours to my braids that I had. So I know I would not be able to do this every time. It's not going to work for me, especially for my schedule. I had the braids in the first place because I didn't want to touch my hair for a couple weeks. Also, make sure when you're doing these styles, go all the way to the end. All the way. Okay. I still got a little bit of shedding here. So I'll get those as time goes by. Probably when it dries, they'll finally fall off. Okay, let's start the next section. Oh, I had some up here. Okay, let's move over here then. We're gonna go with the misting water. That's why you asked if you could use the custard. For what exact reason though? The fact of having different textures and trying to control it? If that's the case, then yes, but yeah, it does kind of depend on your hair type. I know what you mean. Like if you're still deciding on hair type, and do you match it with that, and can you still get a wash and go based on a different texture of hair? That's what you're saying? Yes. You can match the products to your type of hair and still get this same look. Yep. So the gel that I'm using for this is the honey and ginger styling gel. That's the one we're using for this style today. And we're using the Palm and Honey Curl Refreshing Spray along with our water. And I'm trying to coat all the way through and not miss my roots, because we need those to be tamed too. Okay, this section is a little iffy. It's kind of crossed. Okay, there we go. It's okay if you haven't used this gel before, it's fine. Whatever gel that you have that matches your hair type, you can use that one. That's totally fine. But I am using this one, like I mentioned before, because I have low porosity hair. And this styling gel is known to help with low porosity hair. Which I'm really glad that I decided to pick this gel for today, because my hair is not, I didn't open my hair shaft. And so I would have done that by like sitting under the dryer. And I thought about doing that before this, but I kind of wanted to see if my hair would take it or not without me adding the heat, surprisingly. But if you have low porosity hair, in order for your hair to absorb moisture, you have to add a little bit of heat to it. And that's done by like deep conditioning with your cap on, sitting under a hooded dryer, or steaming your hair. That's ways to do it. But I didn't want to do that today because I wanted to keep this braid out curl pattern and definition. So just as this is a tutorial for you all, this is a tutorial from me. We're going to hope that this all comes together and works. Because if it does, I will be very, very happy. I will be very pleased. Okay, got a little excess here. So as you can see, I'm grabbing each piece from my braid out and I'm coating it with the gel all the way through. And yes, you need a lot of product. You need to be able to coat the entire piece of hair. If you skip a piece, it's gonna get frizzy, like at the end, see? It has to be able to coat the whole thing. And like I said, throughout this process, I'm using this to help me with my shedding from taking the braids down. So as I'm doing each one, I'm rubbing it through, but I'm pinching the ends so that I can get those loose hairs. So for this piece, see how it's kind of tangled at the top? I want to find where they are. So I start back at the bottom, and that's how I can find where that piece is. Thank you for joining today, guys. If you have never seen a Tutorial Tuesday before, the link is in my bio. You can see all of the previous Tutorial Tuesdays as well. So if you missed the braid one, when we did these braids in the first place, you can see those. You can see when I washed them and all of that. So definitely check out the YouTube channel too after this, so you can see the whole process. So as you can tell, we're getting closer to the center of my head, and this is where I start to lose definition even with my braids. So some of these are more wavy and puffy than the other pieces. Even if I separate them and make them smaller, I don't normally get the definition that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna keep it together. Otherwise it's just gonna frizz. But if I keep it in one piece, it will look like one curl. And I can separate it later. So we'll do that. Okay. We're almost done. Okay, this is an instant wash and go, because we're almost done. This part is already close to the front. So I'm gonna split here. I'll start with our water. So let me know, should I be posting the results from this? Because I have a strong feeling that the results from this are going to be bomb. I'm telling you now, I really do. I really do think the results are going to be bomb. I'm getting vibes from this right now. I am getting strong vibes. So we're going through coating with the Curl Refreshing Spray. I'm going to coat it to make sure it's moisturized, and we want to grab those little ends off for shedding. Okay, now it's time to go in with the gel. Make sure I don't miss any pieces. I might do these two again. So let's pull these up. I'm gonna turn this into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna keep going. And I'm gonna get close to my scalp. I'll turn a little bit so y'all can see. Ooh-wee. Thank you so much. I am really, look, just as much as I do this journey, I'm doing this journey with you all, and I'm doing this journey with myself. I am bringing you all for the ride. Because I was just talking to someone about this earlier, actually. I told someone that I've been transitioning my hair for a while, and they didn't even realize that my hair was transitioning. So that just means so much to me, because I put a lot of care and self-care and self-love into my hair, just as I try to do as much for myself. And I see that it's starting to show as I care for my hair more. I'm starting to love my locks and looks more. And that's the whole reason why I created this whole mission, my business, everything that I stand on is really based on what I would like to have for myself and that I wish that I had during my journey. And so just trying to create those avenues for other people, women, children, men, adult, like child. I just want other people's questions to be able to get answered. I've had so many questions and had people beat around the bush and not really answer my question, and it was very frustrating along the way. And sometimes my hair suffered because of that, because I never really got the right answers or straightforward answers. So I would get a half answer and then try to figure out the answer on my own, and my hair suffered. And so now I have these answers, and I'm still getting more new answers. This style right now is an answer to one of my questions. It's how do I get a good wash and go? And I saw someone turn their braid out and twist out into a wash and go. So I said, okay, I'm going to try that. And so why not put it on Tutorial Tuesday and show you guys how so you can try as well. So that's a little tidbit of, one, how we even got here today. But 2, how we got here, period, with Devine Glamour. The whole goal was to create a platform to share my knowledge with other people. And hopefully that you guys pay it forward as well as divines and help other divines and give them answers to their questions that maybe I don't even have. And experiences and stories and about your journey. Because this hair thing is a journey, for real. This is not a game. This is a full-on journey. First of all, the fact that we sitting here together, doing this together, this is all a journey. So I will get off that soapbox and we will move on to the next thing. But I did want to make sure that I didn't miss anyone's questions. So if you are on Instagram and you have a question, add it in the question box. And if you're on Facebook, drop it in the chat. And this instant wash and go, guys, is a win. This is a win. These are going to be some serious results. I am really excited. Because all I'm doing is taking the piece from the braid that I had. And I'm turning it into a curl, as if it was my natural curl, like a wash and go curl. This is called the instant wash and go. And we are almost done. Like the top section, I believe, is just as big as this one, that this one was. So you can see it's getting a little frizzier towards the front. So I'm just grabbing small pieces, because this braid right here is at my temple, and this is where some of my hair is the thinnest. So I want to keep those thin pieces together like they were in a braid. I think this one might be one piece, so make sure I put enough product in it. Take the shedding off. Make sure I get all the way to the root. So we're right here in the front. Okay. I'm gonna scrunch it to make it curl back up, especially for these front pieces. I can hear it. I got gel all over me. Okay. Last section. Let's wet it. We will be done. Gotta make sure that we coat the middle as well, and the ends. And then we're gonna get our curl refresher. You can see, gotta get that moisture back in. We want to pull those loose hairs out. Okay, and I'm gonna split this because I want to find my part that I had before. There we go. This piece we're gonna clip back. And we're gonna finish this side, because this goes all the way to the base. I'm gonna start on the underside. There's a piece. So in terms of how to find the piece, all you do is remember where your braid was, and then when you separate it, you're gonna feel the lumps. So see, they just kind of fall in place. Oh, throwing gel. Okay, there we go. They just fall in place. As you feel them, you can feel where they were separated from the braid. And they'll come together as clumps. Here's a good one, see where they separate. There we go. And then we're gonna keep going, go to the next one. Oh, that one had a little bit more shedding on the end. Okay. Okay, there we go. Here's another piece. That's gonna need a lot more product as we get closer to the root and to the middle of my head. You can see where I told you I did a scalp massage, so my parts are kind of gone, which actually helps with this look, because then I don't have to worry about parts in the middle of my wash and go. Come on in. So yeah, let me put this back together. And we're gonna keep going. We're working our way up. Move this shedding hair out the way so I can feel the curls. Here's one. And if you haven't noticed, I've been breaking it away from my roots as well. So once I find one, I pull it, so I can get as close as I can to my root. You can see this piece is frizzy. So let's make sure that one's really coated. So we want to bring that hair back together. We're doing good. We almost finished. Okay, let's find it with this one, because this is definitely frizzy here. We're going to make this one. And we're going to coat it with a lot, because we need to take that frizz away and make it turn into a curl. There we go. And here's the next one. Nice and tiny. Okay. Almost at the top. So what I'm doing is also finger coiling. And I'm doing that for this section because a lot of them were separated and went frizzy. And so by finger coiling, it wraps that hair back around each other and promotes the curl that I may have lost, especially at the ends. And of course, I have product in between my fingers, so this helps get all of it coated all the way through. Here's another piece that's kind of frizzy. You can see that. So we want to go all the way through. Can you see? So we want to make it all together. I think we're gonna have about 2 or 3 out of this one. There it is. So see, if you lose it, if you rub on it with the product, it will start to clump together and you'll find where the curls are too. Like that one was, I had it as 1, but it could be 2 or 3. Yes, I'm almost there. Let's see. These 2 went frizzy. And let's see, I probably can make this into 2. See, there we go. Let's see, that might help so that it's not as frizzy. Okay. We might be on to something. Okay, let's go to this last section. We will call it a night. Okay. When I'm finished, I can show you guys how much shedding I had too. So you all can see what a normal amount of shedding looks like, so you don't get too scared when you're doing this process or taking your braids down. Okay, I'm going to take those little pieces out. And now I'm going to go with my styling gel. Ooh. Let's get each piece and turn it into something. Okay. I think we're doing something. So, how long do I plan on wearing this wash and go? Let's do a day contest. Let's do a check-in on IG story, and see how long this wash and go can last. So I will check in tomorrow, and that's how I'll do my results. I will show you all through stories, and we'll see how it looks. Because honestly, this is the best wash and go, even once it's finished wet, that I've had. I've had some when I finished it wet and was like, okay, I can tell this is not gonna look right tomorrow. But I'm actually looking forward to see this dry. Now, I'm thinking about either going outside to do a walk to let it air dry outside because it's very hot outside, or sitting under the dryer. I'm not sure because it needs to set. My hair sets, oh my goodness. This needs to be dry before I go to bed. What my hair does in the middle of my sleep when it's wet, I will wake up. This hair will be matted. My hair will be pressed down. It will not be defined at all. I will not be able to fluff it out or anything. So this has to dry tonight. And if you're having that problem too, where your styles aren't the same when you wake up, you need to make sure that your hair is not damp. It has to be dry. Even with the gel, it's not necessarily, you do just gel and you're like, oh, it's not water, it'll be fine. No, that is still considered damp and wet. Now, diffusing is also an option. I could diffuse my hair. I think that's gonna be my last straw. If after the walk it's not dry, or if the heat is making it too crunchy, I'll probably diffuse it. Now, I probably should just diffuse from the beginning. I know, right? I'm gonna try the air dry. I'm gonna try the air dry first. If it doesn't air dry, then I'll diffuse. If I diffuse and it takes too long and it's time for me to go to bed, then I'll do the hair dryer. There we go. I think that's a good plan. So, the question was, do your hands hurt from doing your hair? Because my hands be killing me. And you know what? It depends on the style. As of right now, because I'm twisting and rolling, normally I would say yes, my hands are hurting, but no, they're not this time. And part of that, I think, is because I'm making sure that my hair is coated with product. that means you need to add more product. That means your hair strands are irritating your skin. So add more product to give you more slip. Also, if you naturally have eczema too, if you have eczema and you're styling your hair, this can dry out your hands. So make sure you wash your hands when you're finished, and make sure that you coat them with like a good butter or whatever healing cream that you have. But for sure, it can. But I think I've also toughened my hands out as well, just from doing my hair and my client's hair. So that may help too. But most of it is the product. Put more product on your hands when you're applying it. Especially if you're coiling and finger coiling and doing wash and goes like this. Because I know by the end of this, my thumb is going to be like, okay, I'm starting to feel the pain. So good question though. Now, my arms, that's a whole nother story. Luckily, they're not burning as much, and that's probably to thank for my workout routine right now. There was, let me not lie, because I've been walking more and riding my bike, so I think my legs are stronger than my arms right now. But I think it'll be okay, and I think you will be too. Let me know if that works the next time. If you add more product on your hands, are they less irritated or have less pain? Because I have a feeling that that's what it is, but if I'm wrong, hit me up in the DM because I want to make sure. Okay, this is a big chunk right here. So I'm going to add more and possibly split it later. I think these are my bigger braids up here. So they're like bigger chunks. Look at this little piece. We're almost done. You guys made it with me. I appreciate you sticking through it, like being with me. This was a lot. This was a lot. And I appreciate you all because, like I said, wash and goes are not really my friend. So I needed you all to come to the party with me because me and wash and go, we don't really see eye to eye. But I think she might like me when I braid out first. So we talked about drying. I'm going to air dry this as much as I can. I'm going to go for a walk with the warm weather outside. And if that doesn't work, then I will try diffusing it. And if diffusing it takes too long, then I'm going to do the head dryer. And once my hair is officially dry, I will sleep with my bonnet on. My big bonnet, my jumbo bonnet. Because I don't want my curls to bend. Okay. We're in our last couple ones. And our timer is counting down. So let's finish this up. And I said I will give you guys an update tomorrow through IG stories. So check back then to see the results. I'm going to split this to the top. Okay. I appreciate you guys joining me today. We have officially made it through another Tutorial Tuesday. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. But thanks. I appreciate you guys.